Alright, let's feed these little guys here. Got some dried brine shrimp here. The baby mbunas growing quickly. Alright, welcome back to the Fishing Room Attic. Jonathan here. And we are looking at the baby mbuna's new tank. I moved them over a couple of days ago. I got them in this 29 gallon now. Pretty simple setup. It already had some sand in it when I got it. Cleaned it up a little bit, threw some rocks to it. Jump started it with the water that they was already in, plus the filter that was already in there with them, and got this thing going so that they have a little bit of room to play. They can kind of dig in the sand and all that. So, yeah. But anyway, they are growing, and so I gotta admit first though, I was totally wrong about these guys. So the last couple of videos, if you've watched the babies being born, or well, not being born, but since they were born, I've been calling these blue Johannis. All right, they are not blue Johannis. I'm almost 100% sure of that at this point. From my research since, I have found that these guys. So the Johannis, the males of the Johannis, and what these are, the Mainganos, I think is what it is, Mainganos. So the males look very similar. Well, what I have found, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the female Johanni is actually orange or yellow, or I think it may be yellow. Well, the female Maingano, however you say that actually, is light blue, and that's what I have. So that's what these guys came from. You know, I'm pretty sure. They say it's hard sometimes to decipher the differences between them, but anyways, yeah, they're growing, they're happy. Maingano, Johannis, whatever they are. I'm pretty sure these are Mainganos now, but I like them. It's fun. It's my first babies growing up. They are getting pretty big though. So eventually, I'm gonna let them get out about 2 inches or so, and we'll probably do something else with it. Oh, ho, ho. Here he is. Check this out. So, cool story. Most of you know, I don't know if you've watched very many of the videos, you know that I have a African shell dweller tank, right? So alright, so the other day I picked up a 20 gallon, which came from the same guy that I actually got the multis from to begin with anyways. And he had some multis in the 20 long. Well, I brought the 20 long home. I set it on the table back here behind me. I'm coming into the shop the other day, and I walk past it and I see some movement, and I'm like, oh, what was that? So I stop, I look in there, and this is what I found. This little guy was still in there, and he took this tank down like several days prior to this, and then that tank sat there for at least 24 hours before I found him. So this dude is a survivor. All right, so I took him and I put him into the shell dweller tank, which I'll go ahead and show you here. So I put him in here, and the colony, which there's only 5 fish in here, but they did not care much for him at all. As a matter of fact, the big male back here actually had pretty much eaten off his fin. So last night I come in here, and he's laying up in this little pile here, and his tail had kind of been nipped off. So I pulled him out of there. He was still breathing and everything just fine, and I put him in a net, and that's when I brought him over. You know, I had this going with these babies in it, so I thought, well, I'm gonna put him in the net, and I'm gonna leave him in the net so nothing picks at him anymore. And so, kind of what I did, I had this, and I kind of propped this in here with him laying in it, and thinking that he was probably done. This morning I came out, looking at the net, nothing, and I look down here, and there he is, thriving and surviving. So his tail, if you could tell, it's really hard to get a focus in on that, but he does not have much of a fin left on his tail, but he is surviving. So that's the update on the Mbunas. These guys, a couple of these are probably going to go into the 55, maybe at some point as they get bigger. They got a ways to go, or I may end up just selling all these, I don't know, or trading them off. But they're fun to, it's been fun considering they're my first babies, to raise them up and get them going. So anyways, give me a like if you have any questions about this. Leave a comment. I'm glad to answer those. And if you like these videos, give me a subscribe, give me a like, let me know what you like. And if you got any other questions about the tanks, I got the Mary W20 here. There'll be an update coming out on that tomorrow. I've had some pretty rough luck there, but yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow, or whenever the next video comes out. Until then, I'll see you.